We were just going to talk about the schoolhouse.
Huh?
Were we talking about the schoolhouse, or what were we talking about last time?
When you left?
Yeah, when I left.
I don't know. Giving you a bunch of bullshit.
You're talking about what the heck?
Well, maybe if I'd tell you about when I got out of the service, I finished my last year of high school.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I was able to drive the school bus, so Jim Lickey hired me to drive the school bus. I could just go to school all day and then, park it at night. And I lived at Leo's place then. I'd walk uptown in the morning, get the school bus, I'd drive out to the Felix Farm. There was a school out there, and the lady that was teaching it was a Nikolai. She's related to us, And of course, I never know her until then. But old Jim Lakey, who hired me, he says, you pick up this lady, take her out and drop her off by the school, and then you don't need to worry about her. The rest of the day, she'll get a ride home.
Huh.
So I did that, and it was grandmother's relation, but Hilgers.
Uh-huh.
So everything kind of hooked together there. I understood it, and before that, I'll tell you a little about Grandma Hilgers. Come out to our place, and she'd come out and she'd pull weeds. And the guys that pulled the weeds was Robert, Wally, and I out there, and she'd more, hey, get that one. At the farm, we had a potatoes patch there, and it was about, I think, 40 acres, and we'd go up and down the road there. And, hey, you missed son. Oh, God, I got away. This is the Grandma Hilgers.
Yeah.
She was a character, Well, anyway, I always thought about her driving us up and down the road and clean out the goddamn weeds. And of course now, when one of her relation from Barnesville, who was named Nikolai, she was up here when I came up here. She was in the home up here. So she remembers, she says, hey, you still pull those weeds? Well, but because of that, she liked to play bingo, and she had a station right ahead of that great big thing where, you could. So she says, sit down here with me. And I says, well, is it all right? Oh, yes. Okay, I sat down there and I got a kick out of her. She was pretty sharp and watching that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I learned from her how to play bingo.
Really?
And one time first time I think that I won the pot for the blackout.
Yeah.
Oh God, she looked at me just like, God, why couldn't I win that? That's an older woman, So I enjoyed just sitting there with her.
So she wanted you to play, but she didn't want you to win.
No, she wouldn't want me to win. But I think of that now. She's dead now.
Okay.
but she died about a month ago or 2 months.
Oh my.
Yeah.
How old?
When I came out here, well, she was pretty lively, but she was just foiled away.
Okay.
But God, I kick ass. Well, anyway, because of that, no, but I enjoyed just sitting at the end of the table there because of the way she, she worried about it. Oh, she'd win to beat hell, that woman. I don't know. She must have the right cards. But once in a while I get kind of disgusted with her winning. But that's just part of living here.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Let me ask this: what's the first? How old were you?
Huh?
How old were you the first time you ever got drunk or had liquor or
Where?
had a
Me?
cigarette? Yeah.
God, I don't know.
You don't remember the first time you ever got drunk and got with your buddies and?
Well, I can remember we had hired men, and old Art Shaft was on that stutter when he'd get drunk. No, he'd stutter, but when he got drunk, why he wouldn't stutter. So Robert Waltz and I, we always wanted to get him to take a drink, because he liked beer, Yeah. And then, so we made some beer out there right along. And pretty soon he started stuttering, and Wally and I and Robert get the kick out of it. Well, why don't you talk decent? We give him hell, But that's some of the things that happen,
You ever try a cigarette or chewing tobacco?
Oh, hell, I never touched that damn stuff.
No.
Or snuff.
No.
Mainly stuff.
My dad.
But everybody used to have snuff or something.
Really?
God. I don't know. No, I never did smoke. Really, while in the service once, well, I'd take one, but never enjoyed me, made anything for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So but God, I can remember that Nikolai there.
How old were you at that time?
Well, I was just before I got in the service.
Okay.
I drove a school bus 2 years, and for Barnesville, I liked it. I liked driving the bus.
Mm-hmm.
I got $1 a day.
That works.
But I live at your dad's farm, or home. No, not yours. But Leo's.
Mm-hmm.
Leo and Annie. Annie had a sister by the name of Lena. And they lived in Barnesville Lena lived in Barnesville for 1 year. She was actually an attorney. But she came up she went down to Texas. She met a guy there, they got married. But she came up one winter and stayed with Grandma Hilgers. Because Grandma Hilgers was kind of weak, So that's where I got to know her. And it was fun knowing her. But God, things like I'd go out my route in the morning and I'd come back and home, and then Lena'd be there and Grandma'd be there, and Grandma liked to listen to the radio. Leo had a nice console radio, and we had one of those little boxes like this. But anyway, yeah, that every day, Amos and Andy, you've heard them,
Oh yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
That was her glory, Amos and Andy. Amos, come on, be sure you're in the house here when this comes. And she'd know just about when I'd be there, but I would be there and sitting there and laughed with her because she just got such a kick out of Amos and Andy. That's something I'll never forget.
Yeah.
And being I stayed at Leo's and going to school, I was handy for her, see.
Uh-huh.
And she, be sure to get to the house now at this time. Yeah. She's I got along good with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
So what was my dad like as a kid? No,
Huh?
What was my dad like, Wally, like as a kid?
Your dad?
Yeah.
Wally? Oh, what he was like?
Yeah, because it was you.
Well, it was Robert, Wally, and I.
Okay.
Our three.
Yeah.
Oh, that was really good. We got along good together. And anyway, just like so many things to do, we do together.
Mm-hmm.
And just like farming, of course, I was the oldest, so I had to do the heavy work. And it was good fun living that though. And then of course they would be right around and we'd build something and it didn't work out or some damn thing. But no, Robert, Wally, and I got along great together. See, my mother did a lot of cooking, and in jars and that. Well, I did. I told you that, didn't I?
Yeah, with the pressure
But
cooker.
That pressure cooker.
Yep, you told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she used to stack up so many things, which was nice for us.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's nice for my other sisters and that too,
Mm-hmm.
Have them all start laid out in the basement there, nice.
Yeah.
And that was such a big deal, that deal there. But I brought up this one that was right here with me before she only lived about 3 years here, and she died. Of course, she's getting kind of darn old.
Mm-hmm. What about when you came back from the war? What was it like?
Huh?
When you came back from the war, what was it like coming back?
Well, it was.
Did people appreciate you coming back? Glad the war
Oh
was
yeah,
over?
I appreciate getting back here and seeing old friends and visiting with them, and just like Robert was, they were here all the time because I was in the service, and they were glad I was back, and we worked together very nicely because we did everything for Dad at the end there because he couldn't do a damn thing. But it was really nice. I miss those guys a lot when, well, I came back. Of course, it was nice. I got a job teaching school at science school, so I could run up home a lot, and that was nice.
Mm-hmm. So when you were in the military, you were in the military for those 4 years. Were you able to come back at all?
What do you mean?
During the 4 years, were you able to go back to Barnesville during that 4 years?
That was home for me at that time, and hell, I didn't have anything, so I worked for neighbors in different places.
But yeah, when you had that furlough, during those 4 years, when you had that furlough,
yeah,
from the military, did you come home, or was it you couldn't really come home during those 4 years?
Well,
were you gone for the full 4 years?
Well, yeah. Well, I went to work. When I got back here, I went to work for.
But I'm wondering, between when you enlisted and then 4 years later when you got out, how many times did you come back?
Oh, I think maybe I made it 2 times.
Oh.
That wasn't too bad. But I got on the bus. I was stationed in the freight of Washington first. So before I went on going up to Alaska, I took a time off and asked for a leave to go home. So I went home and it's over there. In fact, Leo was the one that picked me up at the deal. He took me out to the farm, and I was there. Enjoyed it, but it went by awful fast. And then I was back on the old train going back to the freight of Washington, and I was about 100 miles from it. And a woman got on there, and I had an open seat. See, I just had one seat for myself. And she and her daughter was, I suppose, about 15, asked to sit there, see, so fine. And, well, we got talking. Now, believe it or not, she was from Barnesville before. She's out there married and had a family, and so she says, well, when we get off here, she says, we only live very close to the base. Could you stay overnight or something? Well, I was a day late in the first place, so I had to go. But isn't that funny how you meet people?
Oh, wow.
She knew Leo real well. So later on when I came home for her, I said, yeah, I met an old girlfriend of yours. Who would you meet? And, so then I told her, yeah, I remember her. That's all we said about it. But she's very nice there to visit with. But isn't that kind of funny how you can meet people?
Barnesville, small town.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But I enjoyed the rest of the trip with her because we talked about different things, and I could even talk about Barnesville, and she would know who we talked about and all that. It was kind of nice.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things a guy gone through and never think it happened, but it does.
Anything you remember about at your cabin that you had by what's the lake?
Out there,
Yeah.
I still have that cabin there.
Oh, you do.
Yeah, I still have it because I liked it so well, but Millie wasn't too good a shape when we moved out there. So I liked it though. I liked the place out there. I had a tractor, small tractor, and I used that to pull around the rakes and different things. One of these Alice Chalmers, smaller tractor. Mm-hmm. And when Wally's girl got married to this guy in South Dakota.
Wisconsin.
Huh?
Wisconsin with John Deere, you mean?
Well, I gave him that not John Deere but International or not Alice Chalmers.
Okay.
What they do there, Wally's daughter married a guy that's a farmer, and of course he went to university in North Dakota, and he's kind of entangled in politics too. But I liked the guy, very guy. So I got to a point to where I had no use to the tractor, and so I told him, he was talking about getting a tractor. So I says, well, I'll give you that one. You know, just remembrance and that. They have a boy they know they raised, and he would, when he had that kid, I guess now he's doing pretty good with the kid. They got a good farm there for raising garden things. So the boy helps out a lot, and he uses the tractor, and I was so happy that they could use it, and he's good about it. But it's really nice. They not only raise the stuff, they can a lot of it and sell it. So that's his living.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he is very good.
Yeah. What about at your cabin? Anything you remember in particular about the kids growing up, or I know they spent a lot of time over at the.
Oh.
They were at the
Yeah,
resort for.
My kids grow up, they just loved the cabin. That's a nice cabin. It was a log cabin house. You probably saw it.
Oh yeah, been there.
Yeah, that was a log cabin house, and the only thing it's kind of settling down.
Yeah.
But I liked it. It was real like the Lake Eunice. Yeah. Then of course the three kids did a lot of hunting in the woods there.
Yeah.
Robert Walton and Brian.
You mean
My three boys.
You're Dan, Mike, and Brian.
Yeah.
You're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, they did a lot of hunting around there, which was good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was nice.
Just tearing around in the woods.
I'd make them cut down some trees there and have some wood for my stove. They did. They enjoyed working like that. They're just there a while and gone, there a while and gone.
What do you remember about Brian's friend Ole? He's quite a character, huh? Remember Brian's friend Ole?
Ole, yeah. Ole, what the hell was it? Ole something.
He and Brian
his buddy was Ole.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Ole Olson, I think.
Ole Olson?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, those kids enjoyed it out there, and we'd go out there every weekend. And then, of course, I'd make them mow the lawn. And of course, that was fun for them, to come and mow it and go. And I was going to say too that this woman, I told you I met in the train.
Yeah.
I told Leo, I said, I met one of your girlfriends out. Oh, could you? Made somebody knew me way out there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I says, no, I got the whole scoop on you. But then he says, yeah, I knew her. She was Barnesville. And I remember when she went away. So I says, well, then you knew her pretty good. That was kind of a tricky deal there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Here we are. Interview here with BT. How old are you, BT?
Hold on.
Huh?
Hey.
How old are you?
How old am I? I wish I knew. I was born in 1918. Now, what would that put? Pretty close to 100.
Yeah? Did you want to be close to your mom when you were born?
Yes. Yeah, we were born in our old little farm out there.
Yeah?
Francis and I. Well, I think all the kids were born there. No, one wasn't, Sheila. No, Bev.
Bev.
Yeah, Bev.
Yeah.
Little fart.
Yeah.
She's did pretty good in her business.
Yeah, she did.
And down there at Alexandra, and so she wanted us to come down in a week. We went down there quite a few times. Yeah. Our whole family.
Yeah.
And then her husband, he was a nice guy.
Bill?
He was in the service also.
Bill Bales.
Bill Bales, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. And Beverly is very good to us. She helps us out a lot.
Yeah.
Well, all the kids did, you know.
Well, that's some hair you got there, BT.
Huh?
That's a tall hair you have there.
Where? What do you mean?
Your military one there.
Oh, yeah. That was my job to maintain his engines.
No, the one on the lower right. This one down here.
Oh, Lord, yeah, down there, that's our marriage. That's one of the pictures of us when we got married. Big wheels on top, though. No, but I tell you, I really like that airplane. That P-38C over there is another nice picture of it.
That's what you worked on.
Yep. Yeah. My guys I worked with, the older guys, shit, they were old as my dad. But they were in World War One. Two of them are World War One.
Yeah, I worked you pretty hard this afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. I appreciate it, BT.
Well, I hope you got a bunch of crap there now. So you can pull it on by these people.